It's Week 7 of the National Football League. And this one features Josie Jewell. He was terrific defensively last week with 11 tackles. It's the Broncos and the Jets. And it comes your way next on Madden NFL 23.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. Gone alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Jets coming into play. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, but not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up, and then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
And off we go from Denver. Taking it about the 1. On the return, Tremont Smith. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Time for our first look at the Denver offense. And, of course, the new face of the Broncos, 9-time Pro Bowler while in Seattle, Russell Wilson.
The Denver Broncos knew exactly what they wanted when they acquired Russell Wilson. They wanted to bring in a quarterback who was durable, consistent, and a proven winner to take a talented roster back to the postseason. And Russell Wilson, he was all of those things in Seattle. 1 losing record in 10 seasons, missed only 3 games in that time, and made 9 Pro Bowls.
They run here with a second-year man from UNC, Javonte Williams. He just danced away from that one defender on his way to a gain of about 7 yards. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. Fighting through, and he's got space. There he goes, right side. The 20, 10. And all the way home for the Broncos score. Javonte Williams with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Extra point, and good by Bullock. And it's now a 7-0 game. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, in the end zone. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Take it in at the 3. So here come the Jets for their initial possession of the game. Bringing him out is the future Hall of Famer, now in his 18th NFL season, Aaron Rodgers.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in. Get calm before you go for the big strikes.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. They run with a second-round pick from Iowa State. This is Breece Hall. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. We're taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago. 17 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
It's been a strong season for him thus far, sitting currently 7th in the NFL in rushing. He gives our offense really good flexibility because if he's gashing a defense, they can ride him to an early lead. But if the defense sells out to stop him, that opens up their passing game.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Throwing now is Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball down the field, but as soon as he released the throw, the play was there to slam that window shut.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play. And the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Gonna look deep for Wilson. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. The Jets sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 37. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game. It will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off. Not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Zerline good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense getting set again. We spotlight Javonte Williams, the running back. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. This defense for the Jets, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
Hardman on the return. A nice return that time of about 14 yards.
And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards and moves the sticks. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
On 1st down, right back to Hall. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers.
Finding Hardman here over the middle. And the Jets are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Seven, our score after 1. The Jets with the football here to start the 2nd quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll run with Hall. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
And the tight end goes in motion left.
One more time with Hall.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal.
He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown.
A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Jets have moved out in front. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. A kind of a throwback weekend for our primetime games here in Week 7. Later tonight, a couple of the great AFC teams of the 70s do battle. The Steelers and Dolphins from Miami on Sunday night. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, Bears and Patriots from Foxborough. A rematch of Super Bowl 20. Bears won that one 46-10. But fear not for the Patriots. If I remember correctly, well, they've won a few in the years following. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Throwing is Wilson. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And all the way home for a Broncos score. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. Fully good on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And New York set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
57 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are that come into the NFL now? They play at a higher level at a younger age. The stars aren't quite in their eyes as much as it used to be, huh?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
No gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Hall. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Here's Hall again. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. Down inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. On 2nd and goal. Rodgers, the quick slant caught. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal.
He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown.
Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Jets will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down.
Screen play set up for Williams. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Throwing again on second down. Wilson.
That's complete to Troutman, right side. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where it was the visiting Lions who come in and get the road victory. Jared Goff leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. Justin Herbert has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get out to Southern Nevada, see what's happening with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. 2 touchdown passes there for Jimmy Garoppolo. On now to a look at the next-gen stats for the Jets in that first half. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, we take a look there at the numbers for them running the football in that first half. These two teams making their final adjustments before coming out for the second half. And for the call, we go back out to Denver and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Jets now to take over. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they're on the heels of that nice win last week over the Packers. In motion comes the tight end left.
Second half starts with a run by Hall. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hall again on second down. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. And the slot man goes in motion left. To throw is Rodgers.
He has a man. It's complete to Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree. One thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Rodgers now on first down.
This pass out wide to Hall.
So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be second down. Rodgers now to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Quan Williams.
And the Broncos will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've got to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson, he'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Back to throw. Wilson flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. So here are the Jets now to take over. They were 7-point winners a week ago, and they lead by 7 here as well as they start out 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers taking a deep shot here for Hardman, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
On play action, it's Rodgers. He's got a man, complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Breece Hall.
A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Jets have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Broncos are about set to go on offense. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. Now Wilson. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Now this offense and Garrett Wilson headed back out. Now this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade is going to happen, but good thought. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight, planted their feet, and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
2nd and 10 now, 3rd quarter action in Denver. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass break up there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the 1st down.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Denver's offense ready to go again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. It's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Kirkland Sutton, 52 yards. And the Broncos are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point and good by Bullock. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. But once again, here comes Garrett Wilson and the Jets offense. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting him, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on. yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up second down. On second down, a run we haul. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the... Welcome back now to Denver. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. A ball throw, but incomplete. Sensing the momentum, maybe changing here a little bit, Chuck.
Yeah, this defense going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. A first carry for Samaje Perine. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now it's Wilson. Out quickly to Judy. Room here to run. Touchdown Broncos. Jerry Judy, his first touchdown of the year. And the Broncos have made it a 1-score game again. 4-4. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score.
This will be fielded inside the 5. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. This offense and Garrett Wilson headed back out.
So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
Oh, no.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here going to be caught by Wilson.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Paul want to give up the middle. And some room to run now. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Breece Hall,
his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jets use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
Well, that's a good-looking rookie right there. I love how he let the play set up and then showed that explosiveness that I saw on tape in college. Remember I showed you the clip of what he was doing and setting up blocks, and then he would just go? We saw it on that play right there. That one was fun to watch.
Now Zerline on and the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays.
And it was finished off by the rookie Breece Hall.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field.
He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Wilson. Looking left side of he's got a man. That's Patrick. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Here's Wilson to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
The nice thing is that you've still got all your timeouts in the middle of the field. That should still be an option, especially if you see the defenders pinching the sideline. You can run a little seam route right here and pick up some nice yardage.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
On the counter, it's Hall. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. In motion left goes a tight end.
Ball again on second down.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Breece Hall,
45 yards.
and the Jets are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the fourth quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Zerline now for the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
On first down, Wilson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Throwing is Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Jet touchdown.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Now Zerline on and the extra point. And the lead is now 24. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Well, the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Wilson.
Throw left side complete. That's Sutton. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Escaping the pressure right.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Jets, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.